When we read Matthew 11 and 12 as a unit, we find several, sometimes confusing responses to Jesus. In this video, we're going to look at what may be the worst. I'm Pastor Mike, and this channel is called Scripture That Makes a Difference, because I believe Scripture has made a difference in my life and that it can make a difference in yours as well. If this is your first time here, you can learn more about this channel in the description below. And if you find that you like hearing about how specific passages can make a difference in our lives today, just click the subscribe button. And stick around till the end. You'll hear about the support provided when people respond to Jesus in confusing ways. In Matthew 12, we have 3 challenges to Jesus' claim to be the king. He warns the Jews that that's not necessarily wise, and he shows us how to find strength when our lifestyle is challenged. Now, this whole chapter outlines how the Pharisees were resisting Jesus at this phase in his ministry. They start out in this chapter by making a legal challenge, claiming that Jesus is violating the Sabbath when he allows his disciples to pluck ears of grain and eat them on a Sabbath day. Jesus corrects them by showing how the Sabbath is not there to hinder human beings, but to make their lives better. Second, the spiritual challenge that they bring claims that his power is demonic, and he warns them that attributing his power to demonic sources is tantamount to rejecting salvation forever. And finally, they make a supernatural demand, asking him for a sign, and Jesus' response shows that he's not interested in proving himself more than he already has to those that have already decided they're going to reject him. And at the end of the chapter, Jesus shows us where we can go for strength to continue to live the lifestyle that he calls us to. In verse 46, he says, "While he was still speaking to the people, behold, his mother and his brothers stood outside, asking to speak to him. But he replied to the man who told him, 'Who is my mother and my brothers?' And stretching out his hand toward his disciples, he said, 'Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother.'" Here he's showing us that it's within each other, it's from each other that we get the power and the strength to continue to live the lifestyle that he's called us to. And so many didn't really understand Jesus. And it happens that way with us. We choose to vote our morals instead of our profit. We choose to invest our time in growth instead of entertainment. We choose to invest our talent in a church instead of the job. Or we choose to resist the temptation to gossip, ogle, or judge. Our family and friends and co-workers respond with confusion, indifference, or rejection. We may need to accept their response. But remember, in order to do so, we need a supporting family, just like Jesus did. And he gives us one. We call it the church. We should depend on the support of a church family to endure modern times. To remember, we become someone else's support to endure through the church. The church is the support we need to respond when others respond poorly to our faith. So, do you agree or disagree? Do you have questions or confusion that you'd like to have clarified? You can put those things in the comments below. If you have different points of view, I'd love to hear them as well. And you can make suggestions about future content. Perhaps a passage that confuses you and you don't know how it really applies to a modern context. I'd be happy to take a look at that for you. If you like hearing how specific passages can make a difference today, click the subscribe button and click the bell so that you're the first to know when I release a new episode. And you can help get the difference-making message of the Scripture to others by sharing it in your favorite social media. And if you happen to live anywhere near Enid, Oklahoma, we would love to meet you. We worship at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and our address is on our Facebook page. I've put a link below. And until next time, remember, Jesus knows what it's like to be misunderstood.